Hey, yo, what's the deal, man? It's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? And as of this recording, this is November 7th, I was going to say 19th, so look at me. November 7th, 2024. Now, I mean, this video is actually going up on a Friday instead of Thursday, because I'm actually doing some things. So, and I don't want to make this, I don't want to make this video a distraction with what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Hold on real quick. I'm back, y'all. I had to get some stuff. So yeah, like I said, this video is on a very rare Friday afternoon. So I'm uploading this at 1:00 on Friday afternoon and such. So I wanted to talk about something that I brought up on Wednesday in regards to QT Marshall and the comments that he made in regards to how WWE rubbed him the wrong way and such. And I mentioned something about people who are good hands, right? I mentioned his name. I mentioned someone like BJ Whitmer, Cheeseburger, fucking Silas Young, Rhett Titus. I don't know about Rhett Titus. Yeah, Rhett Titus. I'll put Rhett Titus' name in there. Him, fucking, let me see, Beer City Bruiser. So there's plenty of names, Cheeseburger. There are plenty of names that I mentioned, right? And listen, you've had hands back, even back in the day in WCW, you had a lot of hands. There were hands that I thought could have been, big stars in the WWE had they got the chance. Like I always felt like a team like High Voltage would have been big stars in WWE if they left WCW. You know what I mean? Because I thought that was a team that WCW dropped. And listen, there were others. I mean, shit, you had a lot of the hands that you had when WCW Worldwide and Pro and Saturday Night came on, right? Those were to me the hand show, because the hand show was basically the talents that not only was in the performance center, look at the power plant. Look at me, the fucking power plant. But also, like, I felt like these guys could have been stars, had they left WCW and went to WWE during that time. The World Wrestling Federation. Like, one hand that I thought would have been fucking perfect for WWF, for the World Wrestling Federation, was the Gambler. Jeff Gann. I thought Jeff Gann was fucking great. I thought he was a great talent. You know what I'm saying? And it's mind-boggling that he didn't go to the WWF. With that gimmick, like the jokes that could have had and the TV time he could have had. Another hand that was there, Rick Fuller. You guys remember Rick Fuller? I thought he was another hand that was good. And again, there are people who, they just wound up being good hands for the rest of their career, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And listen, if you don't have a gimmick, but you know how to work and stuff, or like if you don't show something that sticks you out from the rest of the crew, again, you're going to be a hand for the rest of your career. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's good to have multiple companies, because if you have a hand that that is in one company, but then another company sees potential in you and such, I would go like, what the fuck you got to lose? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you got to lose? Like, unfortunately, like, you got some people who were stars and then they become hands in the WWF, like EC3. You know what I mean? I like EC3. I think EC3 would, so when EC3 was called up, he was called up during the Vince administration, right? So Triple H at the time didn't even get a chance to develop EC3. I thought EC3 was fucking great. I thought Ethan Carter III was great. It wasn't Triple H's fault. It was more of Vince's fault. What they saw in EC3, right? He wound up being a hand. And again, there is a difference between a star and a hand. Again, a hand is basically someone who puts people over. Like, they'll get time and such, but they'll get time for their gimmicks and shit, but, they mostly become, jobbers to the stars. And a star is basically self-explanatory. A star is basically someone who is shown weekly on television as the main focus. It doesn't matter if you are a big name or a name in the mid-card. You are still shown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not in catering and such. See, a lot of people in catering are also hands, right? And which is crazy. In the AEW, you see a lot of hands, unfortunately, right? Like I said, a lot of the Ring of Honor guys are hands. Like the main one who I'm dying for him to leave, Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal is a fucking hand, unfortunately. Dalton Castle is another hand. Who else you got as hands? Fucking Brian Cage you got as a hand. You got a lot of people there that are hands that should not be hands. They should be fucking stars, but they're not treated as such, And that shit kills the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? It kills me. At least with WWE, like, if you have someone who's a hand, right? Fuck it. Send them to the indies. And that's another thing why I do like about the indies or fuck it, the territories. Like, at least they got work for these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got work. And in QT Marshall's case, he's just a fucking hand. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, B. You're just a fucking hand. You're not a star. You're never going to be a fucking star. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never going to be a fucking star. You're just going to be a hand and a trainer. Shit. Wasn't fucking Norman Smiley a star, a hand? You know what I mean? Wasn't he a fucking hand? Like, he wasn't really, wow, he was, hardcore champion. Oh, screaming Norman Smiley, right? But he was a fucking trainer and a good trainer at that. He wasn't he wasn't somebody who was, he wasn't somebody who you could put the main focus on and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't that. But for someone, like these guys, I think they complain more. And that's another thing too. I think a lot of wrestlers now, they are basically more ungrateful than the wrestlers back then. Cause fuck it. If I'm getting paid to lose, fuck it. I'm going to be the best job, period. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm working, you know what I mean? And I'm getting paid to do jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at fucking Barry Horowitz. Barry Horowitz, he was an enhancement talent, right? I think jobber is a sensitive word for people, but fuck it. Like, you got motherfuckers who get paid to lose, right? I mean, they're getting paid to lose. Lovely. They're also getting paid. And that's another thing with hands, too. They're also getting paid to make the wrestlers look good. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, that's why you got the fucking independents and that's why you got territories, because they look at these wrestlers very fucking differently. Very differently, man. I mean, they look at them very differently. And again, this is something that, people just going to have to get used to. Like, not everyone's going to be a fucking star. Unless you show something, unless you make a gimmick that, sticks out and stuff, and you can work and such, and you're someone who, who has a presence and such, and I'll keep it a buck with y'all. Like, a lot of these wrestlers who you see now with no gimmicks and such, like, they should be fucking jobbers because they don't really offer nothing. Like, I see someone like fucking Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor was garbage. Like, I don't know what the fuck was his gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, that motherfucker should be a fucking hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, he should be a fucking hand, B. You know what I mean? Like, Jack Evans. Like, come on, B. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And you want me to take these motherfuckers seriously as stars? Like, come on, man. You feel me? So like I said, there's a difference between a star and a hand. You know what I mean? Like, and again, hands are basically there to fill roster space too. That's another thing too. They're there to fill roster space. So it's just like in basketball. Basketball, it's a 15-man roster with, actually 17-man, where 12 primary, and then what they call the taxi squad. You know what I mean? Like the extra 5. You know what I mean? So there you go, man. Like, it has to be like that. All companies do that. TNA, AEW, WWE, shit. Even New Japan Pro Wrestling have hands. And again, there's nothing wrong with being a hand. And also, again, you are contributing. So there you go. All right, guys. So this video is going to go up, on a Friday. And who knows? There might be some news, Now, because I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with Malachi Black as of this recording. You know, I don't know if he's released. I mean, he came out with a Instagram post as of November 7th, saying that he's not leaving and you know he's not retiring and stuff. But why the fuck did you hug? Why the fuck did you hug if you wasn't trying to make noise? Like, come on, man. Anyway, I'm out, so who knows what's gonna happen. So I'll catch y'all, I will catch y'all later tonight. Peace.